is Alicia Massari. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, and I work with a group called Imbalance. And we offer 8-week courses and workshops for kids, teens, families, seniors.
This is Sandra Saliovic, founder of Destinos Enterprises, presenting Latin and Canadian destinations. We offer 3 different services: destination marketing, destination management, and general sales agent to travel companies, tourist boards, airlines, and land transportation.
Homemade traditional Peruvian dessert, alfajores, basket of ham, beef, turkey, veggie gourmet sandwiches. Hoagie Waits Catering, phone number 778-245-3007.
Eventually I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get over it and I'm just gonna do it. And it's good to have an accent because that way you never forget where you come from.
Vancouver is well known for being bike-friendly city.
All her cheap dresses become a masterpiece. Paola Hernandez thought was to study engineering back in Mexico, but her deeper desire was to be a hair stylist. Vancouver granted her that wish. Currently, she's competing at Contessa Canadian Hairstylist of the Year Award. A story of cats and hairstyles, challenges and dreams. Paola Hernandez is our guest in our Television Story segment.
I consider myself a passionate of hair because it's something that I enjoy, something that I can just create by the feeling of it, and I just like to create things within people. Like, I'm not really changing something, I'm just enhancing that beauty in everyone. My first thoughts when I arrived to Canada, I wasn't really expecting anything, to be honest. Like, my parents were the ones deciding to come to Vancouver in this case. So I was pretty open. I didn't have any expectations. I just wanted to see how it was. I was a bit upset of moving. Personally, I wasn't really thinking of moving from Mexico. So yeah, I guess I just kind of went with the flow and just see what's gonna happen. I guess I just discovered that since I was young, like, that was something that I always wanted to do. And I guess just coming to Vancouver gave me that sort of like a bigger perspective of what I can do. And I just decided to give it a try and see how things were gonna be and stuff. And that was actually the first thing that I do. I signed up to hairdressing school. I guess there's a lot of challenge in it, especially when you know that you're probably gonna stay in that other place, because a part of you is still back home, but it's this other big opportunity towards your new life, right? So being an immigrant in Canada is something that gave me a lot of experience, and there's something that I'm still trying to figure it out. I feel like as hairdressers, we're all artists. We're all creating and building things within the hair, and it's something that you kind of feel, and I think as an artist, it's also about what you feel to create something beautiful happen. So I do consider myself an artist. First of all, Vidal Sassoon, as you say, is my favorite hairdresser. I admire his passion and his hard work towards the hair industry. I think he's the god of hairdressing. And everything that he did in his life, just personal and just his career, is just something to admire, his passion. And because he was like a businessman, that quote of, if you don't look good, we don't look good, I think it says it all. They are so, Vidal Sassoon, I mean, is just an incredible hair company, and I think it's sort of like a feeling of, you know, if you do your best, you probably will be able to see that in the reflection of your work. And the reflection of Vidal Sassoon was always spectacular. So I think that's why it made him become one of the best hairdressers in the world. I guess just I take every day as an experience. I like to see my life as, and live my life every day. Like I like to think about the future, but I don't want to set up for the future because I want to like live every moment the best. But possibly, I don't think necessarily change. I guess just go with whatever comes and just always do the best I can until I know better, and then I'll do better. It was definitely the biggest challenge to come to a place where you're not really comfortable with speaking. And I did know a bit of English, but it wasn't great. I was very self-conscious about my accent, and it took me a while to just be able to just go and just start speaking, like feel comfortable with it. But I guess once I decided to do hairdressing, I was like, I really want to communicate with people, and I want to be able to speak to them and understand. And I guess you kind of develop a different sort of language when you cut hair, but it's really important to know that. And because Vancouver is such a multicultural sort of city, you get a lot of accents. So eventually I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get over it and I'm just gonna do it. And it's good to have an accent because that way you never forget where you come from. I guess every day or every so often I notice in myself that I'm just like a different person. I'm a better person now. This challenge and experience of moving to a different country has given me so many things to be more confident about myself, to be able to be a better human being and a better hairdresser in this case, my profession. So I think it's always good to see the positive things of everything, and I see this experience of moving to Canada as one of the greatest opportunities that, in this case, my parents gave me, the opportunity to move to a country that has definitely given me so much. This is so exciting. I just received the phone call last week. This is a competition that brings the best of hairdressers in Canada, and when they asked me if I wanted to do it and just get into the category as a new hairstylist, I was like, are you guys sure? And then eventually I was like, okay, let's go for it. So I decided, and it was such a great experience, and just getting this far, it's amazing. I'm really looking forward to go to Toronto and get to see different talented people and hopefully win. I guess just be better at what I do, keep learning, keep taking everything as experience, not necessarily looking as positive things, just see the good side in everything. I guess in this career, you never stop learning, so my goal is to keep getting more knowledge and learning and getting more experience, and eventually be able to open a salon or own something, and just be the best I can and keep on learning. Yeah, I'm still pretty new, so there's a lot of challenges, but having the support of such a great company, all my colleagues and co-workers, like they're all so passionate at what I do that I always feel like I can do better and keep being better as a hairdresser, and also as a human being, right? It's good to have that sort of balance between what you do as a career and your personal life, and just keep having that balance and never forget that where I started, and just keep, I will say, reminding myself of all my accomplishments and being proud of myself, and just keep on being confident with my own, and keep working to be better. I will say I'm very loyal and very passionate. I consider myself a really good friend. The people that know in my family, they do come to see me to ask for help if they need it, and even in my relationships, I'm always giving the best I can, and sometimes it's hard to balance it out because you kind of want to be the best, you know, the best person, the best friend, the best daughter, the best sister, and it's challenging, but I do try my best. So I do consider myself very, like, I give it all.
Most newcomers don't have their own car when they arrive to this country, so it is very important to be focused in your transportation means. Vancouver is one of the greatest cities around the globe where you can hike around or ride your bicycle. On that way you can go through this amazing city. And besides, this city, Vancouver, has beautiful sidewalks and beautiful streets. But if you need to do a long distance, Vancouver has many options, from sea bus to SkyTrain to ferries to bus. Transportation is our topic in the beginning of New New Life in Canada with Nora Valdez.
Next question. What types of transportation are in Vancouver? Well, we have the public transit, that is the SkyTrain, buses, the sea bus that goes from downtown Vancouver to the North Shore, and the West Coast Express that runs from downtown Vancouver all the way to Mission. The SkyTrain has some lines that go. They are come from Waterfront Station, that is the main station for everything. Waterfront Station that is located at Cordova and Granville and Seymour. You go to Waterfront and you have the Canal Line that goes to Surrey, New Westminster. There's a new branch that is going to go to Coquitlam, the Evergreen Line, and to the airport. All those SkyTrain lines moves you mostly all over mainland in a rapid way. It's a rapid transit. The bus, you have 3 zones, in transit you have 3 zones depending on where you live or where you move around. One zone is Vancouver, or Vancouver, city of Vancouver. 2 zones is Vancouver, Burnaby, Coquitlam, New Westminster, Port Moody, the North Shore. And 3 zones is when you go to Langley, Surrey, Abbotsford, and so on. So depending on where you live, you're going to have to pay 1 or 2 or 3 zones. And you can buy individual tickets. You have to pay with the exact change in the bus. That ticket allows you 90 minutes to make the transfers as you need for the same ticket. You can buy blocks of 10 tickets with a small discount, or you can buy the monthly pass. The monthly pass, be aware, you must keep them, because at the end of the year you can use the monthly pass payment. You can deduct that from your taxes. Those are write-off expenses you can use. This is for transit, types of transportation. Another type of transportation is by car. Buy a car and drive your car, and a bicycle. Now is more Vancouver is well known for being bike-friendly city.
If there is a country with an enormous and huge diversity of dances and folklore in South America, that is Bolivia. In our Your Country, My Country segment, next.
Bolivia is a land of contrasts in nature that stir one's soul. Here are kept the secrets and mysteries of ancient cultures. In this enigmatic world, you can feel the breath of eternity in its mountains, discover unexplored realms of untamed jungle cut by swollen rivers, be amazed by a country where the real thing still exists. Our visitors will find extraordinary diversity and unique places surrounded by magical scenery, challenging beauty which is at once extreme and moving, such as the Salar de Uyuni or Uyuni Salt Flat. This extensive plain is the starting point of a crossing full of unrepeatable experiences. In the middle of the Salar, Inkawasi Island juts out, where ancient cacti, which have stood the test of time, raise their thorny heads. From the peak of this natural promontory of volcanic rock, an amazing expanse opens before you, where you can almost hear the silence. Over 300 tourists per day visit here and enjoy the landscape, which is considered to be one of the 20 most exotic and admirable places in the world. In remote times, it was here that the salt trade was born and gave rise to the establishment of communities that crossed the salt flats with caravans of llamas to arrive at far-off destinations. Nowadays, the crossing is made in all-terrain vehicles, which take you deep into the southwest, through villages and past communities that have reclaimed their authenticity and cultural wealth and have thus transformed the Altiplano. This is the route that joins the white deserts and colored lagoons of the Eduardo Avaroa National Andean Fauna Reserve, where you will discover a landscape that seems to have been transported from other worlds. Crossing the desert of Siloli is the Árbol de Piedra, or Tree of Stone, a natural sculpture which has been carved by the wind. And, very nearby, is the Laguna Colorada Wildlife Sanctuary. Every year, thousands of tourists arrive, attracted by its scenic beauty and vast diversity of bird species. The tourist circuit continues on to Sol de Mañana, where nature bursts forth with a power that emerges from the center of the earth. A bit further on are the Polques Hot Springs, a special place to pause on this exceptional crossing on the way to the Laguna Verde at the foot of the Licancaur volcano. The road back still holds more attractive sights, such as the Laguna Celeste and the Rio Grande de los Lipes, all before feeling the energy of the Salar de Uyuni once again. Our voyage through Bolivia now takes us to Potosí. Declared a World Heritage Site, this city preserves the features of a past full of splendor in its magnificent colonial architecture. The San Lorenzo Church is an extraordinary example of Mestizo Baroque, while the Mint, or Casa de la Moneda, now a museum, is one of the most visited tourist attractions. The Tower of the Compañía de Jesús and the Santa Teresa Convent are just some of the unmissable sights on your trip to Potosí. At less than 3 hours from Potosí is the capital of Bolivia, Sucre. Recognized as a heritage city, this is your best opportunity to go back in time and history. The San Francisco Xavier University, founded in 1624, is another site you mustn't miss on your tour. There are many attractive, interesting places in Sucre, like the House of Freedom, San Felipe Neri, and colonial churches that dominate the city landscape. Not far from the city are the famous dinosaur tracks, which are surprising not only for the dimensions, but also for the variety of species represented. A particularly important place is the Azur Indigenous Art Museum, where visitors can see authentic native expression in the weavings from Jalca and Tarabuco, as well as the Pucllay dance, which shows the strength of a race that has endured the centuries. Bolivian celebrations are at their brightest and happiest for the Carnival of Oruro, where the fantasy of the Diablada and other dances deserve to be recognized as the verbal and intangible heritage of mankind. After living the color and authenticity of Oruro, your trip through Bolivia takes you to the valleys of the south. In these lands, rich in vineyards, sunshine and wine, we begin a new route which leads to the Chaco. A day in the Chaco will have more than just one surprise. There's no need to organize special events to see its inhabitants in action. This is their life, these are their customs, and this is their music.
Have you heard this phrase, si las paredes hablaran? If these walls could talk? Well, in this case, our camera can talk too. Behind the scenes, next.
Okay. Exactamente, fue lo que mi mamá fue lo único que me sugirió. Me dijo, si quieres ser estilista, estudia en el mejor lugar de Vancouver. Aunque le tengas que invertir mucho, lo que sea, porque es caro estudiar esto, hazlo en el mejor lugar que puedas. Y tenía como muchas ilusiones de esa otra estética que estuve como 3 días y me fue pésimo. Entonces venía un día ya de regreso, y ya venía así, y me bajé en Burrard y empecé a caminar y en la academia de Sukis, ¿sí la han visto? El Sukis está en el segundo, ajá. Antes había banderas de diferentes países. Entonces estaba Sukis y al ladito el nombre está la bandera de México. Entonces me llamó la atención y lo vi y dije, ahí voy a trabajar.
As Paola Hernandez said on our Tell Us Your Story segment, She lives her life in a positive way. And for the bad things that could happen in her life, she takes them as experiences. Try to be focused on what you want to do in this country and enjoy your life as much as you can. Watch us all Thursdays at 9 a.m. and Saturdays at 1 p.m. on SHA Multicultural Channel 116. I am Fabiola Palomino, your host. All About Taxes Seminar, Personal Income Tax, Corporate Income Tax, Foreign Income Verification Tax, Saturday, November 22nd from 1:30 to 5 p.m. at the Vancouver Public Library, downtown Vancouver. Call 604-720-4262 to register.
Problemas de relaciones interpersonales, separación, divorcio, problemas con niños, adolescentes y adultos.
Soy la doctora Yolanda Montoya, soy Clinical Counselor y mi teléfono es el 604-861-1071.